Hey Crispinators, how you guys doing? I'm back again. This is Crispin, of course. Something new every week for you guys because I love you guys so much. And of course, I keep on saying thank you to you guys for supporting my channel. To the new ones, of course, welcome. This is Crispin 360, and my returning subscribers, I appreciate you all, and then keep on supporting Crispin and all that. So today's topic is something very personal that I've never talked about. So I just want to just address this issue. It's not actually addressing it, just giving my 2 cents about this. This problem or this episode. So in case you're new to my channel, please continue to support me, subscribe to this channel, like and share, and of course, do not go anywhere. Crispin got you covered, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back to Crispin 360, and this is today we're going to be talking about something that I've always wanted to just explain myself, and it doesn't really work out, but today I'm going to try as much as possible not to offend anybody, or so let's just get right into it. Of course, today we're going to talk about image, like my age and all that. So here's the thing, okay? I don't know this, but let's just say that I'm somebody that God has given me a lot of looks, I guess. So I get a lot of people question me all the time, how old are you? How, this question, how old am I? I don't want to say it's a cliche or something like that, but I think personally, I've been experiencing this, or I've been explaining myself for quite some time now. And it becomes so difficult. I don't know why people want to always focus on how old are you, all those questions. It doesn't really pay bills, it doesn't really fill up your pockets or something. I don't know why people are always into this, how old are you, because look, so here's the thing. Listen, I'm one person that I'm not actually shy of my age. Actually, I'm not really shy of my age. I always tell my age. I'm 34 years. I'm a February born. I was born on the 5th of February 1989, so I'm an Aquarius, obviously. So I'm extremely extrovert. So I really don't have a problem with my age, and I don't shy telling people my age. However, the next chapter or the next question or the next episode people always want to know is that, okay, no, in fact, the first time they meet me, it goes like, oh, I thought you were 21. I'm like, seriously, 21? Come on. I've gotten this a lot. Now, back in Africa, I never had this problem, okay? When I say back in Africa, because I'm from Ghana, obviously, we don't really, I'm an African guy, you understand? I'm a black guy, so obviously my black fellows or my black people, they actually understand this, and it's normal for them. But in abroad or in the Western world, I always have problems. I always have to defend my age, and I feel like, why should I have to defend my age? This is who I am, Sometimes I go as far as even showing my ID or my identity to just prove a point, It's difficult, and I think it's a stereotype, because you have to look a certain way with your age. We have a lot of celebrities who don't look their age. Example is Pharrell Williams. Look at Pharrell Williams. He looks very young, but he's in his 40s, if I'm so right? So I think it's just the theme, it's just the your genes, I think it comes from the genes. I don't want to go and say, because maybe the adage, we always say black don't crack. I guess maybe it's true, because if black don't crack, then that means I am the walking black don't crack, because look, I don't look my age one bit. I know myself, I know I do not look my age, and it is not something that I chose to do or to have, I guess it came naturally, it's like I said, it's a gene. So it's not like something that I just woke up one day and I'm like, no, Crispin, you really have to look young. No, I take care of myself, one, of course. But the fact that I don't have skin, skin reactions, I don't have irritations, what's called burning, all those things you guys use, all those, you guys have this technologies about skincare and all that. I do skincare, of course, but just facial gels, that's all I do. But I don't go too hard on those things, because I don't have a pimple for a fact. Obviously, I've never had a pimple in my life before. I don't have a pimple in my face. So I guess everything counts about all these things count to this. That's why I've gotten to where I am now. So me have to defend my age, and you don't look, sometimes I feel it's a little bit offensive. People go like, oh, I thought you're 21. Why would you want to guess my age? So I can give you an example, when I go to the club, sometimes, well, actually in the bar, in the restaurant, it's actually okay. I want to just shift a little bit into dating world, So sometimes you put your profile out there and you want to date, and you go on date, they'll be like, oh, you're too young. I'm like, how do you know I was very young? Your pictures look very young, but you don't look. I'm like, yeah, but pictures are pictures, I mean, why would you want to judge somebody based on their looks? I mean, think about this. It's here. It's how the person speaks, or how the person acts. That's why you can judge somebody by their maturity, But don't just look at the person's age and just think like, oh, because he or she is 17 or 20 or 19 or 21, she or she must think like this or must do this. No, it doesn't work like that. Everybody has their own genes. I didn't create myself. I didn't know I was going to come out looking like this. It's difficult for a lot of us to go out there and do, because in the beginning, in the beginning, when somebody says, oh, you look 21, 22, I'm like, yeah, it's a compliment to you. I like it. But then, I mean, like, as times go on, I told myself that, no, Chrispin, come on. I think it's very offensive and rude for someone to just go like, you look 21. I mean, why would you say I look 21? Because I look very young? Sometimes I think maybe I have this impression or this idea of going to Turkey to go and have like a laser or maybe a beard transfer, because probably if I have beard, and I also don't have beard, that's a problem. I don't have a beard, and as you can see, clearly I have no beard. So I guess probably I have to go to Turkey for maybe like a laser or something. It's sometimes I think it's a compliment, because I'm like, okay, if I'm 34 years now, I'm 34, yeah, and I look like this. So if I'm 50, I should be like, now in my 30, because I think that is where my beard will start growing, I guess. I don't know why God didn't give me a beard, Sometimes I think maybe I'm not a little bit happy with God. I'm like, God, why didn't you give me a beard, I mean, there is nothing nice about beard, but it just stereotype. A man should have a beard, like, I mean, I have a dimple. Dimple is not actually people's feature, I guess, but I mean, in the dating world, it's difficult for people to date, because it becomes like, oh, you look very young. Oh, you're like, I'm like, so sometimes people will be like, you're very young, okay? So when I start telling them about my, like my work history, the countries I lived, what I did, I'm like, oh, okay. So like they start adding 1 + 1. We're like, okay, it makes sense, because if I'm 21, how did I get here? In my current life, how did I get here? So clearly, and obviously, I'm not 21, I get this a lot. Like, I remember my last, especially with my colleagues, anytime I mention my age, or anytime I go out and I meet people for the first time, when I say my age, they're like, oh, really? I thought you were younger than that, The nicest one that I got was I was 26. I'm like, okay, for the first time, 26 is okay, So, I mean, it's just something that I wouldn't say it's actually like damping my spirits or like I have low self-esteem. Hell no, I don't have low self-esteem. No, hell no. But the problem is, I think people just have to tolerate, live with it, accept it. You're not looking for a person, or you're not trying to live with the person just because the person looks younger. No, you always think about what is here, like the sixth senses. I always say the sixth senses. Why should my looks determine my future? You understand? Why should my looks determine my future? Just because I look very young, that means that I'm young. It's my face. That's what I have. This is who I am, and I'm going to change it. And I think, like I said, sometimes it used to be very compliments for me, but as times growing, I started growing up, I realized that, nah, Chrispin, this is not something to be... It's a compliment for some people to look very young. Of course, I know that. But, I mean, like I said, in the beginning, I really used to like it. But I think it's getting out of fun, because, like, you look very young, I'm like, what should I do? People change their ages all the time because they want to look younger. So if I have this naturally, why should I be very happy? Of course, I have to be very happy, right? Of course. So, I mean, I should be blessed to have like younger genes, and it means I'll be 70 years and I'll still look like 40, so I should be happy, right? So, gray hair doesn't have any connection at this point in my life. No, I'm not going to have gray hair anytime soon, because it's going to take a long time for me to get a gray hair, The shade, don't worry. It's a shade. It's a shade. It's a shade. It's a shade. But of course, guys, just embrace yourself. This is who you are, Embrace yourself, and then just like be confident. You understand? I think I'm not the only person going through this. A lot of people are going through this. People, I hear stories. People even go to the club. They even ask them for them to show their ID cards before they can be served the drink, because of their looks or their body. Because they look very smallish and all that. I don't look very smallish. Actually, I am 176. That's my my height. I don't know how to use my weight is. I'm not going to talk about my weight actually. So, I mean, I don't know how to use the pounds, but after we use like the British, we use the centimeters, and then I'm not good with the inches, So I know I'm 176 centimeters. So I should be okay. I should be fine. My height goes with my body. So people go on my Instagram, oh, you look very young. I'm like, no, dear, that is Instagram. I don't look like that. It's just maybe because I'm not standing. Normally, my pictures, I'm sitting down. So people think that, oh, I look very young. I don't look very young, and I don't talk like a child, obviously. So, I mean, But of course, I mean, some dating actually works out. You go on dates and some people are like, oh, I don't care about the age. Actually, the school of thought says that age is just a number. You know, age shouldn't determine your capabilities in life. You understand? So I think sometimes I am what's the word? I like to read. I'm a reader person. Like I love to read books. I'm like that, you know. I don't like to be told all the time, you know. I like to read people and then see what I can impact into my life. You understand? I always do that. I copy from a lot of people. People don't even know this, but sometimes you can be my friend. I'll be talking with you, but trust me, I'm taking some tips from you. That's how I am. So my life is circled around people, you know. I like to be around people all the time. I don't want to be alone, you understand? So that is it. So it has also helped me, and I'm also a very sociable person. I'm a very happy person. I'm a very going person. I mean, like I said, I'm an extremely extrovert. I can't even change it, you understand? So I think it sometimes take the piss out of people, because some people don't like to be very open and friendly and all that, which is fine. I mean, but we all cannot be like Crispin, you know. And I think in my next life, I really want to be like me, you know. I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be myself, you understand? Because this is who I am, and I don't think I'll ever change. This is what you're gonna get, you know. What you see is what you're gonna serve. I'll serve you this all the time. I'm gonna be serving you face, serving you body, and all this, you know. So this is my face, and I'll be serving you this forever, you know. So those of you, if you are in my shoes and you're having this problem, please, like, just know that the right person will come to you, or let's just say that this is who you are. Just sell yourself out there. You know, it's all about branding, marketing, and selling yourself. If you know how to sell yourself, I think you're gonna have this problem. About people looking young than their age, we didn't choose it. I didn't have a plastic surgery, or I didn't do, you know, this is who I am, you know. Because like I said, black don't crack. I mean, too bad, but I have to say it, black don't crack. So probably I am the walking evidence of that, you understand? So I mean, this is life. Just live you who you are, you know, just like be happy, you know. Okay, so guys, this is the end of my episode for today. So of course, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Tell your friends to join Crispin, because I'm always doing this all the time. You know. Of course, if you have any questions about this or anything that I've done, like my previous videos, of course, just leave your questions in the comment section. Of course, I'm gonna respond to you guys, and we can have a kick, you know, stamp. So all right, guys, on to the next episode of Crispin 360. Crispin is out of here. Have a nice evening, and bye.